Yes, indeedy. I got some clips, dude. I got a different perspective on things. The internet, I mean, the way that they're mapping this thing out, guys. If you didn't watch this debate, if you really didn't sit down and watch at least 2.5 hours more, it's a 4 hour video, I think. It's a 4 hour live stream or something like that. If you didn't sit down and do that, you really shouldn't be commenting on it. There's even not even a lot of clips that you can isolate for Andrew that makes it look like he's on top of this thing, right? It does. There's not many clips that even when you edit them, it doesn't make him look very strong. She's cool as a cucumber, dude. This is the queen of debate right here. Now you can crown her. You can go ahead and crown Candace Owens right now, queen of the debate. She's put she put a master class on. Master class right there. She just sat back. She was cool as a cucumber. But let me tell you something right now, Jack. You're about to see when we look at one of these clips and the other live streams that I've done in this as well, where his foot is shaking like Don Knotts. Well, this is Use Your Discernment. This is my channel. My name's Keith Hanley, and we're on Twitter, y'all. Elon Musk, friend of the show, he's got me up on Twitter now. So we're streaming from there. We're on YouTube. The love-hate relationship I have with them. It seems every video that I drop on YouTube, they do something to it. It's just not good enough for those guys. I had a falling out with them from years ago. They took a channel that I had built up, and ever since then it's been war in heavenly realms and principalities against these flipping guys YouTube. But yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, we're on there, and we're going to be reacting to some clips. We got there's an interesting perspective that I bumped into this morning from this young man. I like to listen to young people now. When I say young, I'm saying under 40, under 35, because they're up. We dropped the ball. Gen X, we're all ruined. I'm from Florida. Everybody in Gen X that I knew, we all went to prison up the road. Majority of us, a lot of us. And we can talk all the mess we want because there is portions of this culture and generation that are, um, it's messy, but I talk to a lot of younger kids. I got a 16-year-old, and man, these kids are pretty sharp. And, I'm not green to the game. I can smell a bad kid. I've worked with foster kids. I know what the get down is. And, there's a lot of kids pouring into Jesus and bold about it, public with it. And I didn't see that, you know what I mean? When I was going through school, we had people that would, get saved over the weekend, and and it just nothing that ever resonated to me. Maybe it was going on, and God just hadn't took the veil over my eyes yet. You know what I'm saying? But this first perspective is from a younger gentleman.
Mistakes.
Let me
He
go
was clearly
ahead.
very nervous, which I think caught a lot of people off guard, including
Okay, so his perspective is, why are they releasing it? Why are they doing this? And what he's going to preference is, oh, and I hope that was the clip that I brought down at the very beginning of their debate. Um, Andrew Wilson breaks out his phone and he starts reading a statement off of that phone. And this young man is going to preference that.
and I need you all to hear me out. He made a lot of mistakes. He was clearly very nervous, which I think caught a lot of people off guard, including those that were rooting for Andrew Wilson. If you're just being objective, he was clearly very nervous. He had no reason to be nervous if he was standing on the side of truth. But there's a lot of mistakes that he made. There were small things that he did throughout this debate that were a part of the agenda, like going out of his way to defend Erica, which was very weird for Andrew Wilson, of all people, to be doing that for obvious reasons that I'm not going to get into here. But there's one thing that he shared in this debate, if you want to call it a debate. This public humiliation ritual is what it was. But there's one thing that he did that overlapped everything else, and that told me, and I've had time to rewatch the conversation. I said, That was the purpose of him doing this. I am 100% convinced that TPUSA paid Andrew Wilson to go debate, debunk, whatever Candace Owens. Now, a lot of you all already believe that, but it's not because they have already paid him to teach them how to debate. That's not the reason. I'm convinced for other reasons outside of the Erica point. In his opening statement, number one, shout out to Baron Coleman because he pointed this out first. He stated that, Andrew Wilson stated that he is 75 to 85% confident that Tyler Robinson is the one that did it. Well, mic drop, that's the end of the debate because that leaves room for reasonable doubt. You need to be 100% convinced, but there's that. But there's one thing that he shared, and I said, Andrew Wilson was not only sent by TPUSA, and I'm very confident in that now. Andrew Wilson didn't write his opening statement. I don't have any problem or any issue with Andrew Wilson.
Hopefully, the video I got next is going to go through him going through that opening statement. If not, I'm pretty sure I can rip it. And if you watch the video, really watch that whole opening statement and what he reads. But let's listen to this young man.
Reading from his phone for his opening statement, I think it's more professional. It's the same as reading from a sheet of paper in a court of law if you are the prosecution or the defense. I have no.
Now, as far as me and we're in a debate setting or I'm able to put eyes on you. And whenever I watch YouTube debates and stuff like that, you can tell when people are utilizing teleprompters and different things that a lot of people in scholarship don't mind. But if it's not on cap for me myself, if it's not up in that cranium of yours on cap to where you can go ahead and go through everything, you're really not in it. Like I said before, I was involved when I was young with a group called Toastmasters, and I took a debate class, and they would give us stuff to debate, and when we did, we just had a position and we had to defend that position whether we believed in it or not. And this is what Andrew Wilson has done. We're going to prove it in videos. I've already proved it in other live streams, but this is basically what he's done. He's paid, and you can 100% tell that Candace Owens' whole heart is in this thing, man.
With that, and I also don't have a problem with it because he's done that in many of his other debates. I don't have an issue with it. I would only have an issue if he read from his phone throughout the actual substance and the meat of the debate when they're going back and forth. That would be weird. But for opening statements, I think that's super professional. I don't have an issue with it if you choose to use your phone or do not use your phone. But if you listen to Andrew Wilson's, and I'll talk about this later. I'm on vacation right now. I'll talk about this later when I'm back in the studio. If you listen to Andrew Wilson and you listen to what he said, it's very clear. First and foremost, it sounded like, just go back and listen to his opening statement. It sounded like this was his very first time reading it. And it also sounded like whoever wrote it, many of you all are going to believe that Andrew Wilson wrote it. All right, fine. That means that what I'm about to say applies to Andrew Wilson, but we all know that it don't apply to Andrew Wilson compared to TPUSA and Erica Kirk. What do I mean? Or TPUSA's overlords or TPUSA funders, whatever you want to say, the people that's backing them. It sounded like, number one, he was reading it for the first time. But whoever wrote that opening statement for Andrew Wilson had other issues with Candace Owens outside of just disagreeing with her theories. They had an agenda to protect. Go back and watch it. Go back and watch that debate and listen to Andrew Wilson's opening statement. Something's off. That's not normal. What he's doing is not normal. So that's number one. But the statement that he made, which I believe was the number one thing that led me to believe this is a psyop. And what I mean by psyop is that, they sent the big bad wolf who's known for defeating people in debates. They've outsourced this person. They've commissioned this person to go and take down Candace Owens by getting in front of her audience, coming to her studio, and doing what exactly? Because they knew she would want to be in her studio and to catch her audience. Let's get in front of that audience because otherwise they won't watch us. They're not going to watch the Charlie Kirk show. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to send a shield. He's going to get in front of that audience. We've infiltrated this space, and we're going to share what? This text message about Charlie Kirk texting other people at TPUSA, which, by the way, Erica Kirk has already shared that before. We're going to share for the very first time unreleased information, groundbreaking, first time ever seen information about Charlie Kirk texting TPUSA and its affiliates that he was afraid that the left was going to unalive him. Well, isn't that timing convenient?
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Listen, we don't subscribe over here to the right left paradigm anymore. We do not do it. Democrat versus Republican, it's a hoax. It's theater. These people, their job is to split us up as a country and why they take our freedoms, and they work together. We just seen it recently, when they have these Senate hearings, when they bring Fauci in and all this other stuff. This is all political theater to get you to choose your side. Who likes this guy? Who doesn't like this guy? Why they go and bring flock cameras all over our country. These people are good at what they do. These people are globalists. I'm telling you right now.
But furthermore, not only is the timing super convenient that he would send that just the day before, go back and listen to the way Andrew Wilson said it. He said it like it was the biggest bomb shell information ever. Only to then later in the debate say, "Oh, but I'm not going to show it to you." I don't think he has it. He goes, "Oh, I'm going to." Candace goes, "Well, if you don't mind me asking, why won't you share it? This is great timing." He goes, "We got to drip it along. Keep it
Yep,
coming."
yep, yep, yep. All right, man. Let me see if this is the video I got. It's one of these two videos.
Headquarters, because you were pretty hostile about.
I wasn't hostile.
Tweeted Erica's too retarded to kill her husband.
Yeah.
Would you like to explain how you developed your?
I'm not her biggest defender.
Do you still think she's too retarded?
No.
Tweeted.
Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to
And
find
I
the
did
one
not
where.
say,
Except
I'm
holding
just
you to
going to
account
get
for
you
your
to say yes
claims.
or no. Well, we were supposed to be debating the case
This
and
is
whether
part
or
of the
not
case.
there was overwhelming evidence.
These are your claims about the case.
No, you then admitted that now you're getting into another sphere and you want to talk about the transcendentals and things that I
And
said.
we got through.
And like,
All right, man. I wanted to play. Guys, if you're really serious and you really want to know where the truth is and you want to really weigh this thing out, take the responsibility of watching the debate or listening to it, as you're at work or whatever. And right at the beginning, Andrew Wilson, he reads off of his phone, and it's a prepared statement. And I agree with this young man right here.
About views for
I
you.
agree with
This is
this
about
young
money
man
for
right
you.
here that this is some kind of op of a narrative that they're trying to push here. And the narrative is going to be that the left did this. The right left paradigm has to be pumped up so other questions can't be answered.
Once again, you're proving that it's about money for you, Andrew. It's about attention and clicks. Okay, fine. When you were accusing Candace of that, fine, whatever.
Also, while you're watching the video, you're going to see where you know what? Let's back this up right here with this young man saying again. I'm gonna try to find that video. It's definitely on my phone, and it's basically the beginning of the debate where Andrew Wilson is reading off of his teleprompter.
Because they knew she would want to be in her studio and to catch her audience.
Listen to this, dude. He's
Is that what I'm about to say applies to Andrew Wilson, but we all know that it don't apply to Andrew Wilson compared to
let your boy get
TPUSA
some
and Erica
likes
Kirk.
up in
What do
here,
I mean?
man.
Or
Come on, guys.
TPUSA's overlords or TPUSA funders, whatever you want to say, the people that's backing them. It sounded like, number one, he was reading it for the first time. But whoever wrote that opening statement for Andrew Wilson had other issues with Candace Owens outside of just disagreeing with her theories. They had an agenda to protect. Go back and watch it. Go back and watch that debate and listen to Andrew Wilson's opening statement. Something's off. That's not normal. What he's doing is not normal. So that's number one. But the statement that he made, which I believe was the number one thing that led me to believe this is a psyop. And what I mean by psyop is that, oh, they sent the big bad wolf who's known for defeating people in debates. They've outsourced this person. They've commissioned this person to go and take down Candace Owens by getting in front of her audience, coming to her studio, and doing what exactly? Because they knew she would want to be in her studio and to catch her audience. Let's get in front of that audience, because otherwise they won't watch us. They're not going to watch the Charlie Kirk show. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to send a shield. He's going to get in front of that audience. We've infiltrated this space, and we're going to share what? This text message about Charlie Kirk texting other people at TPUSA, which, by the way, Erica Kirk has already shared that before. We're going to share for the very first time unreleased information, groundbreaking.
Yeah, when you listen to the debate, there's like this groundbreaking, shake the world evidence that text messages or something that Andrew Wilson has, and he's gonna drip it on his show, showing you that he's in it for the money. And these, I don't trust anything from these people, anything at all. We're at TPUSA, and the deception that's behind them, the puppet masters behind them, that's top of the food chain, Jack. See what happened to Charlie.
First time ever seen information about Charlie Kirk texting TPUSA and its affiliates that he was afraid that the left was going to unalive him. Well, isn't that timing convenient? But furthermore, not only is the timing super convenient that he would send that just the day before, go back and listen to the way Andrew Wilson said it. He said it like it was the biggest bombshell information ever. Only to then later in the debate say, oh, but I'm not going to show it to you. I don't think he has it. He goes, oh, Candace goes, well, if you don't mind me asking, why won't you share it? This is great timing. He goes, we got to drip it along. Keep them coming. Oh, this is about views for you? This is about money for you. Once again,
Kirk. So the general
I don't think 4 out
perception
of 5 even
is
were.
your Turning Point's horse.
Oh,
I
so
think quite a few of them were. Was there 3
just made it
Ericas
up?
or 4?
So you're just making stuff
Can
up?
we get a count of how many were about Erica? I feel like
it was 3.
3. Did not take an hour and a half to just pull out of context list with Andrew. I actually debated the substance of what's retarded to kill her husband.
Yeah.
Would you like to explain how you developed your evidence, your positive evidence for the fact that Erica was retarded?
Yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
I just think all women are retarded.
Oh, so you're allowed to just
You're debating. This is a serious issue. People's lives are on the line. Should be a lot more formal than that. He just shows what a low bar guy that he is. That's low brow right there. There's a time and a place for all that. But yeah, I mean, that's what he's known for. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the pickle jar thing, but you're gonna see that cruising through the internet. Oh man, have you seen the pickle jar? The man 4 or 5 minutes trying to open a pickle jar. I mean, it's hilarious. I guess you got to earn your money when you're on that internet. And this pasty joker right here, he's just a bought and paid for shill. I had so much respect for him before this because I've been listening to modern debate for a long time. And this guy, he puts heads to bed on there. He comes through and he knows how to defend his position. But right here, the fix is totally in, dude. All of a sudden, he was critical all about Turning Point USA, critical of them, critical to the point of calling Erica Kirk a retard. She's a tard. That's what he said. To backpedal, go visit them. Says that he helped them learn some about debate, teach them argumentation, to lie. Because when you don't have the truth, you got to learn all that slick debate stuff that these jokers do. And that's him. These guys are looking for positions to defend to get paid. They're not looking for the truth. I don't believe that anymore. I believe these just guys are slick talking jokers that can find a position and dance around it. And like I said, when I was in Toastmasters, when I was in jail, Toastmasters came and they had a program, and I got in it, and we had a debate class in there. And when we learned it, we were defending positions that we didn't even believe in. And I thought, and even back then, I was like, I'm not trying to argue for something I know is dead wrong. Something like abortion, something like, gender, you know. But Andrew Liz Wilson, man, you dropped the ball.
Stuff. Who knew? So
You
and what
just
and by
asked
the way,
me,
and
like,
what dramatically transformed your opinion of Erica after going to the headquarters? Because you were pretty hostile about.
I wasn't hostile towards him.
You don't think calling somebody too retarded
No,
is?
come on. That's like normal tongue-in-cheek stuff for me online.
Oh, you're being tongue in cheek.
Usually when I call someone retarded, I'm being tongue-in-cheek, yeah. Like, for instance, you got supporters. I mean, if you want to use the same exact argument, you would take a supporter like Owen Benjamin. He called you bad names and called your husband bad names. You're just like, well, that's no biggie?
I've never answered him on anything that he said. I'm saying that you now are her biggest defender. So do you still think
I'm
she's
not
too,
her biggest defender.
Do you still think she's too retarded?
No. I didn't know Erica Kirk. I'd never met her before.
Okay, but you had an issue with Turning Point being led by a bunch of fembots talking about
Still
the
do.
feminist angle.
Still do.
And then suddenly you go to the
Still think
headquarters.
it's a terrible idea.
You go into the headquarters. Now all of a sudden you've got text messages that you're sharing with them. You say that you and your wife are getting involved with management.
No. I'm not involved in any management at Turning Point
Well,
USA.
I'm pretty sure there is a clip of you where you say that your wife went to their recent conference and sat down, and then when you were on Joe Rogan,
No. Hang on. I'll explain what happened just so that you understand.
Yeah.
So I was invited there to do some debate training. That's literally what I was invited there to do on recommendation. So I went down and did some debate. That's the first time I ever met anybody at TPUSA.
Okay, and then you said you sat down with Erica.
Well, I didn't sit down to her. I talked to her in a hallway.
So you didn't sit down and speak with Erica?
No, I didn't have like some sit down long conversation. We talked in a hallway.
Okay.
I
Is that
don't
when
know,
you gave her
maybe-
the hug?
Yeah, gave her the hug right there. My wife did too. We were both very sorry for what happened.
Okay,
to
so
her.
at what point did you start receiving text messages from that you cited in your opening statement?
Oh,
that
I
you-
just reached out to TPUSA and said, I'm prepping for a debate. Is there anything that's pertinent that I can use here?
Do you find it interesting that people have been asking for, basic answers to questions, and you're saying that you walked into their headquarters and reached out and they
It's
instantly...
amazing, isn't it? If you reach out in good faith and you're not demonizing them and saying that they're complicit in the murder of people's deaths, that perhaps they're actually willing to release things to you that are pertinent, other than thinking that, perhaps you're diabolical.
Well, I don't know. I feel like if I was going to release that information, I didn't demand that it be released to me.
Look at his foot. Look at his flipping foot. I wish I could zoom into that thing. This dude is nervous. He's all pasty looking. Look at Candy. Cool as a cucumber. Now he thinks he's got her right here on something, like, oh, be honest in your brain. He's dancing. He's doing his tap dancing. He is a very good debater. Absolutely.
Actually never demanded that it be released. I just
But he
simply
doesn't
said
believe
that
what he's
this
debating.
is what was going on in the last
That's
48
the
hours.
difference here.
Maybe to the media they could release it. They could release it to PBD. They just
Charlie is gone, and we just want to know who really did it. This debate surprised me 100%. I thought it was going to be a hamster wheel, but this just shows us how desperate the TPUSA is to change a narrative. This just shows us completely that they're going to get somebody that has no heart and soul. He's got no dog in this fight. He could care less. That 300 grand is the only reason why he's over here. Well, the 300 grand he gave to her wasn't his. I guarantee you that.
release it to a guy that called Erica too retarded in June.
So what?
Yeah, I just think it kind of shows that Turning Point is sending you as their horse.
Well, I don't
They
know
just
where
don't
you,
have the
I don't know where
courage to
you-
have the conversation.
Like, I don't
if they
see
were
this-
just releasing something in
Let
good
me ask
faith
you a
to
question.
answer
Do
questions.
you have any
I've never
evidence of that
demanded.
claim?
It's not evidence that
No.
you're sharing your opinion
No.
that she's too retarded. I can't share my opinion that I think it's going
Well,
to
I never
register
met the
as
chick.
really obvious to the public. That rather than presenting that throughout the course of everybody wanting to know what Charlie was person that has spent time in what most people would term to be the manosphere, talking about feminine.
I like this. This is a great point.
I'd actually like to know what the facts and details are around this. They actually do talk to you. It's amazing.
Yeah, I just do not believe that you that they are doing this in good faith. I don't believe that anything you have done has demonstrated that's in good faith. It demonstrates that you walked into Turning Point USA headquarters and came out a different man because you were critical of the organization. You were critical of Erica, and now you're sitting here going,
Well,
Candace,
first of
I want to
all,
interrogate you for
have
an
you ever
hour and a half
been-
about everything you've ever
Have
said
you ever
about
been
Erica.
critical of somebody that you hadn't met, and then you meet them and you're less critical of them?
And the inverse has happened too. I was
You're
less
right,
critical
exactly.
about Erica, and now I'm more
But I'm
critical about
asking
her.
you. But I'm asking you. Isn't it the case that there's people you've been critical of, and then you've met them and you're less do this? You could definitely not do it at all and be fine, right? But you still do.
I would say that you are making a comparison that cannot be compared because Erica's husband was just assassinated in front of the world. And I do think that you fell short of that.
There's nothing hang on.
And
There's
I
nothing
did not
here
say,
except
I'm
holding you
just
to
going to
account
get
for
you
your
to say
claims.
yes or no. Well, we were supposed to be debating the case
This
and
is
whether
part
or
of the
not
case.
there was overwhelming evidence.
These are your claims about the case.
No, you then admitted that now you're getting into another sphere and you want to talk about the transcendentals and things that I've
And
said.
we got through-
and like 4 out of 5 of your clips are about Erica Kirk. So the general
I don't
perception
think 4 out of 5 even
is
were.
your Turning Point's horse.
Oh,
I
so
think
you
quite a few of them were. Were there 3
just made it
Ericas
up?
or 4?
So you're just making stuff
Can
up?
we get a count of how many were about Erica? I feel like
It was 3.
3. Okay,
Yeah,
3. I
3.
said 4.
And I'm happy to get into also the Patsy stuff now if you would like to.
Well,
Your
that
team
was
has one more
supposed
clip they
to be
want to
the
play
whole
from
one
7
more.
days
Okay,
ago.
sorry.
They got one
They
more
had
clip.
to.
and
We
then
were
can
getting
go to
into the
the
Patsy stuff, and you stopped it, and I was explaining to you. Oh, they have one more clip. Okay, let's go.
They want to hit the minimum of 4 clips you were saying with Erica. So
100%.
This is absurd.
okay, and this is
Watch.
the one you're saying from 7 days ago. Okay, while they're looking for that, do you want to continue?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
ask a question? I know it's been, or like, can I ask a question? Or are we
Not
just in
really. I'm just going to.
He doesn't want her. He's not allowing her to answer a question. Listen to that. Listen.
We're going to hold to the actual contract itself.
the contract does not say that you are allowed to just question me without me being able to respond to you
I've never said you
or
can't
have
respond.
a conversation.
You've been able to respond to every question I've asked you. And by the way, the other thing is like
Let's have it your way. I want it to look like
still happy
we've
to have
done
the
everything
debate.
Andrew wanted to, so that people can fairly.
She wants to do every little thing. He doesn't want her asking any questions. That shows you right there the truth. They're not about the truth. They're about deception. They're about narratives, y'all.
Situation, so you have it your way. I
Totally
will not
fine.
ask a question.
Totally fair with me.
So are you good with her asking the question, or
Watch.
Said no.
Waiting
Watch
for the
this.
Okay, so you want to wait for the clip first. Okay, you guys have it in the back.
Will not allow
Okay,
her to
beautiful.
ask questions.
The widow. The widow.
Took her out, dude. Listen, guys, this was my bad. I was supposed to have that clip. I thought one of these clips was the video where they start at the beginning of the debate and Andrew Wilson breaks out his phone and he reads. It's very interesting. So possibly tomorrow we'll do it. I got a big work week coming up. I'm sure you guys might too, man. I hope you guys have a good week. It's he has to keep her on his narrative. Yeah, I think the narrative they're trying to push is the one when he was reading off his phone at the beginning of the debate. Do you remember that? You know, that's what they're trying to push. This has to be the dirty left, the left, the left. Look at the left, look at the left. Don't ask any questions. There's nothing to see here, y'all. There is nothing to see here. That's what they want, you know, and this is just more government mud, dude, more slop, more administration, more of these mouthpieces. But what this is showing us, y'all, that these folks are who they are, who's bought and paid for, who's not an honest actor. And Andrew Wilson is not an honest actor. I mean, I made a call on him when I seen him with he was on the whatever podcast, I think it's called, and that's the podcast that made this dude huge. And he would just basically go on there and debate flipping he would debate little young feminist women. They didn't know their positions and, you know, OnlyFans models and stuff like that. This is how this guy went viral. But I also listened to him on Modern Debate. So this is a professional. This is what he does professionally. And they bought and paid him because they want to switch up this narrative. They want to get everybody back on the left and stop asking questions. They can't have questions. And we're seeing everybody that's bought and paid for. We got somebody right in here. And usually when you look at these guys' accounts or you look at these guys' profiles, there'll be a couple hundred subs and there'll be no interaction, no videos. A lot of these channels and stuff are bots. Maybe this guy is, maybe he isn't. Maybe he really does think, because Andrew Wilson does have a cult following, that him and Jay Dyer, that he's got guys that are gonna come they will come in they'll come defend him. Candace is smart. She knows exactly what she's doing. Run her in circles, not allow her to ask or redirect the conversation. That rule right there, I know I listened to her read off the rules and regulations. I try to listen to that stuff close nowadays. But Danielle, I think that if I would have heard about that earlier, I would have probably done a video on that. So there's stipulations for you to ask questions. Basically, you don't want to, so you're hiding something. If there's stipulations for anything, everybody should be able to ask questions, and you should have to answer those questions. Am I saying something crazy here? Like a real debate to where we get to the truth. We're not trying to defend positions or talk people into anything here. We want the truth, right? We want the person, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We want the truth of the matter. We want to really know what's happening, right? So how are we going to get to that if we can't ask questions? If Candace Owens is the one person in this world that can ask the questions, why, Mr. Wilson, did you have it to where you didn't want her asking any questions? You held her off. You stonewalled her. You said, no, nope, you're not asking any questions. We're not doing that. And look, dude, that's just another nail in your coffin, bud. Another nail in your coffin. I'm sure they've gassed you up, you little fanboys. I call you and Jay Dyer the pasty boys. We got the milk toast boys over there. Uh, over at TPUSA, you and Jay Dyer are like the pasties. That's the name of y'all's little two-man band, the Flippin' Paisleys. But I got to get out of here. Long work week, man. Y'all, I know you guys probably have a long work week too, man. Let's just pray for the best here. Hope that our country gets out of wars. We want people to live, man. I want God's light to shine in dark places. I want people to just, I want heaven crowded, man. I do, 100%. And if you don't have your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, you need to get that faith in there, man. Put your faith in him. Get your faith off of men and politicians and all this other hogwash and fed slop. And let's get our faith in the Lord Jesus Christ and let him take the reins. He is the sovereign one. Grace and peace.